Hello and welcome back. Fancy seeing you here. Haven't been gone very long, have we? But it's just me, you, and obviously Jamie in my ear. So we're all here to spend the next hour doing a craft along with what is fast becoming one of my faves. I absolutely love making this box. It's super easy, and I'm going to show you the really simplistic way of doing it. We're going to be embossing it, and it's the watermelon that we're going to be making. And I thought, because it was a craft along, it'll be nice to do it as a box where it's got a little handle. So we're going to show you how to do that handle at the top. And what you can see I've done is I matched it in so it's like the rind of the watermelon as well. So super easy to do, and hopefully you'll enjoy crafting along. Now, just to get some bits out of the way, if you've got them already, then you can craft along, and I'm going to tell you what you'll need to craft along with me. If you haven't, then just save the show and you can watch back at another time once you've got all your bits together. And that's the great thing about our craft along, is because you can really take it in your time, in real time. Pause the show, stop the show, go back, watch any little bits. So yeah, and also I am on my phone, so I've got everybody with me tonight. Jan's on socials, so she's come in, so please say hi to Jan. She's going to send your messages across because we're fully interactive. So if you want me to stop, make sure that you ask Jan and she will stop me, and if you've got any questions that you want to ask, make sure you ask away and I'll try and keep a look on them. Jamie will also keep me straight on those as well. Love to Create is saying hello Debbie, team and crafty friends. Hello LC, and Trudy is saying hi again everyone, and Tracy is saying hi Debbie and the team. Hi Tracy, hi Trudy, and more of you coming in. So this is what you're going to need to create this beautiful project. The first thing we're going to do, oh, there's a picture of me, look. First thing we're going to need is the watermelon treat box. I'm also using some Christmas red Centura. Mine's a shinier version, but Centura red is going to be perfect for this. Your white cardstock, green cardstock, some black pigment ink pad, some clear embossing powder, and a circle nesting die. I say a circle one because you can see the sentiment is cut out with a circle, and that's all I'm using the circle for. Then some additional elements that you're going to need, and that is your Gemini die cutting machine, a scoreboard or Scoremaster, your pencil. I put pencil there. I'm not using a pencil. I'm going to show you a different way you use it with your Gemini machine. Scissors, red liner tape, your heat tool, black ribbon, and some black gems as well is all you're going to need. So once you've got all those bits together, hopefully you'll be able to craft along. Now don't worry if you're a little bit late or you're still getting those things together, because you can actually still pause live and then you can go back, and especially on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, what I have noticed the last few times of watching is that they have a 10-second forward and backwards. So if you've missed something, just go onto Facebook on the video, click on the actual live, and it will have a little circle with an arrow. Press on that and it'll take you 10 seconds back, and then if you need to go 20, 30, 40, you just keep going back till you get to the point where you want to start that bit over again. So it's really handy to have, and I think a great thing, especially for our craft alongs. Right, let's get started. Let's have a look. So see, we've got loads of you coming in now. So Mary Pat is in, saying hello from a sunny Montana. You know what? I don't even know what the weather's like today. Jamie, do you know what the weather's like? Oh, okay. It feels warm in the studio. So Jamie's saying it's grey but warm. So yeah, I'm not sure if the sun's out. It's been a weird week this week. We don't see the outside at all. It looks lovely when you look out our windows, but obviously they're not real. They're not real. They are real, Jamie. What are you talking about? Yeah, they're real. They're real. Laurie is saying hi from Arizona, and Shirley is in saying hi to Debbie and everyone. And Paul Prince saying hello, Debbie. CTV, Jan and Jamie, plus CC fans here. And Rosalind's saying that she's looking forward to this craft along. Well, Rosalind, I'm looking forward to it too. It's just me and you guys, and we're going to be crafting along for the next hour, which is going to be amazing. So first of all, now let's get the templates. What you get in the watermelon, and all of them actually, you get a top and a base, so a lid and a base. So the great thing about the base one is it literally is what it says. So you've got your base on here and you've got your base on the top piece. Then you've got your lid. Now your lid, you can see, is slightly different. So the lid is the same as the base, but the difference is your lid is slightly bigger than what your base is, because if you think of a box with a lid going over the top of the box, it needs to be slightly smaller. Then your lid, you can see you've got your stencils, so that's where all your pips are going to be. Now because I'm using a shiny cardstock, so I'll show you my cardstock, and also if you're using Centura Pearl, you will need to use heat embossing onto this, because it won't dry, or it'll take a long time to dry. If you're doing it, say now in the evening, you could put this to the side, let it dry till tomorrow, and then put it together. But I thought, let's heat emboss it, and then that way we know that we're going to get a lay down of colour and it won't smudge as well. So the first thing I want to do, if you want to, you can literally use a pencil, go all the way around here. So you don't need to go into here because we're going to be applying ink through there. Pencil it and then cut it all out. But I want to show you a different way of doing this. So we're going to place this onto here. I've got my lid here and I want to do my base. So we're going to place our base. I'm going to pop both of those down. And also I'm going to place my base one of these. Now the reason being, that's if I can fit, I might not be able to fit that all on there. Let's see. No, I don't think so. Let's turn it round and see if we can do it a different way. Let's go up there, there. Do you know what? Oh, we can fit it on, but what I am going to do is do it in stages, because I don't want anything to slip, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Because we're going to take our board, we're going to place our dies. So I want to turn these around this way. So we're going to place those down like that. So we're going to place one there, one on there. Actually, I think we could do them all. Let's see if we can fit that in there. No, it's not going to fit. I'm going to be pushing that, I think, to do that. Yes, absolutely. Let's do one at a time. So we're going to place that one on there. This one will go on the top like so. And that's why I didn't want it slipping, because I've not sort of taped that down. You could tape it down if you wanted to. And then I'm just going to place my rubber mat over the top of that. And then you're going to take out your magnetic, just your plastic shim, which will go on the top, and then your top cutting plate on top of that. And then we're just going to run that through our Gemini. So we'll do it in sections, and then that way we know that we'll be getting it completely right. So, and also it doesn't mean I'm rushing you guys at home if you're doing this in real time. So what that's doing is actually embossing my stencil, and I've worked out that I really like doing it this way, because I feel like you get a true guide to your cut when you're cutting it out. So even though that's embossed that detail into there, which you can see, I'm not worried about that, because what I do want to do is to cut this one out. And what I like about this is because the lines have been embossed, I can see exactly where those lines are. And I can literally just take my scissors to my lines and cut them out. In fact, I'm going to switch to my bigger scissors. So just against the line. And you get real precision with doing it this way. And take your time. I'm just aiming it into the light where I can actually see what I'm doing. And then you'll notice that when I'm cutting, my scissors are not going to be the things that are moving. I'm actually going to turn my card into my scissors. So just going around that line, keeping it where I can see that beautiful embossed line, which is going to give me that precision. And then again, if you wanted to on some of the straight lines, you could use your guillotine. So we're just going to place that there. And then I'm just going to switch to my little scissors to get into this smaller area, like so. And then again, onto that one. So that already has created my top here. So we're just going to turn that over, and that one. I love this, that it's actually got all our score lines in place. So that's created the top of our box. Now we're going to stencil that in a little while, but let's put these bits to the side, and then we will do the other pieces. Now the reason that I was doing, so I've done the lid, and now I'm going to do this, the lid itself. I want this done in green, because it's the core, it's this part here is the top of the lid. So we want to do that in green. So I'm making sure I don't do that piece. So we're going to do the base. So I'm just seeing where we can place that, which I think we said was there was good, and then our base would fit at the side. Yes, perfect. So I'm going to just turn that round. So I'm really making good of my A3 piece of cardstock. Oh, need the mat. Now when I'm placing the mat on, I always hold my cardstock so it doesn't shift anything on there. Then holding it down, just let that go to the bottom, and then I know that that's not going to move my template underneath or my cardstock. So put your 2 plates back on top, and then we can run those through as well. So it's just a case of letting them go through, and that will do that all for you. Lois is in. She's saying good afternoon from Ohio, Lois. Pat is in saying hi Debbie again from New Jersey. I love when you do craft alongs. I do not have this collection, but you still give me inspiration for other ideas. Oh, that's really nice of you to say that, Pat. And Sparkly So is saying hi Debbie, and Karen is saying hello, the fruits are on their way to me, arriving tomorrow with my Santa card showstopper. I love that. How nice is that? You'll love both of those. So you'll love the fruit treat dies, but you will also really love the Santa. Oh look, that's gone. Can you believe that's happened there? But never mind, it's absolutely fine. What's happened is I had a little, where I've cut it, it's cut into just there. So what I'm going to do is when I cut that, I'm going to put just a tiny little bit of tape on there to hold that in place. So I'm not going to worry about that at all. So it's my own fault. It's where I cut round. I just placed it. I've been too frugal with my cardstock. That's what I'm doing. So let's just take this around. So again, just check in the light to see where that line is. And then we're just using that to cut round. I've got a feeling, so I'm just going to double check. Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely fine. I thought I'd done it the wrong way, but it's absolutely fine. I have done it a different way because on the other one, I'd done it where the cardstock was giving me the embossed line on the white side. This one is giving me the embossed line on the risen side. So I'm just going to go around here very quickly just to take that away, and then it's easier to find those lines. And the reason I'm cutting it this way is because it's easier to cut against the embossed or the risen line rather than against it. So just trimming that one onto each side. It's really strange, isn't it, Jamie? Because normally I do a craft along like either in the morning when there's people about, or when it's in the middle of the day and other people are here. Tonight it feels like, yes, it's really like an eerie silence in the studio. Really eerie. Oh, I like it. It's quite nice. I like it that it's, because I generally think it's just us, isn't it, in the studio? I don't think there's anybody. Oh, Jake's still here, is he? Jake did brilliant, Jamie, today. So Jake was doing, for anyone that's just joining, and Jake was training, yes, to do what Jamie does. There we go. We can literally fit that on there. So I'm going to turn that over like so. I'm holding that in place, and I'm just going to place that over the top. And it is me just being very frugal with my cardstock because I do have other cardstock, but I just wanted to show you how you can really utilise your card. And again, pop in those 2 over the top and then running that through. And I think this is easier and you get more precision than a pencil line, because actually with the pencil line it's quite hard to get through those little zigzags. And this one gives you real precision through those little zigzags. So take that one off. There we go. You can see we've got that line in there, which is beautiful. And then we'll pop that one to the side just for a minute because we've got our lid to do in the green, but let's cut this one out as well. Now hopefully I am trying to keep a look on your messages, but they're all good. I'm hoping I'm not going too fast for anybody. Yes, so if you do need a break to catch up, Jamie has just offered to put in a break if we need to. So, and like I say, most people are probably crafting along but can pause if they need to, or if they're not crafting along, they will at a later date. So you've got that ability to just pause, even have me on silent if you want. How rude. Who would do that, Jamie? Right, it's been a really fun day today. I've really enjoyed today. Jamie's saying that even if you had me on silent, you'd probably still hear me giggling. That's probably quite true. Probably quite true. So just turning that round, so we've got all those pieces. Now before, so you can see, I think we can, yes, there we go, we can pick that up. What I want to do here is I want to reinforce this score line. Well, in fact, I probably don't need to on this one because it will just bend on its own because it's quite a good cardstock, this shiny one. So we're just doing this. Now, the reason I wanted to do that line and make sure that we folded it in, because I don't want to go over that line. To get a really neat line, what we're going to do is go in with our small scissors and we're going to trim. Now, it doesn't matter if you trim more away than you need to. All it means is that you don't go over the line that's folded. So it's just a case, and that will just make sure that you get a really neat trim when it sort of comes around. God, it's getting really hot in the studios tonight. It's very, very hot. I don't know whether it's the heat or whether it's, this studio is very hot today. When I went outside earlier, not right outside, but even outside of the studio, it was cooler out there than what it is in the studio. It could be that, Jamie. So Jamie's saying it could be all the installation, yes, which is not helping. I do have a fan on, but I get cold if it's directly on me. I'm going to have to ask Liam to put the fan down, because sometimes I need the fan on me to keep me cool, and then it gets too cold and then I need to move it so it's not directly on me. And because our fan here is high up, I can't reach it. So it's a silly place to put it. And I'm actually sweltering, so let me just... Oh, what is the time? Oh, we're only 1:15, we're all good, we're all good. So what I'm going to do next is bring in, I've got a little bit of green. So this one is just a pearlised one. I can't even think what this has come out with. Oh, we've got a question, Jamie's just saying. Let's have a look. So Sandra is saying, Debbie, do you have to use clean plates? I've noticed I get imprints or marks from previous die cutting. That is a brilliant question, Sandra. So, so I would say if you do a lot of embossing like this onto your stencils, a clean plate would be absolutely brilliant. The other thing that will help is just a sheet of copier paper. So if you put a sheet of copier paper on, it won't transfer those marks onto your cardstock. Because I notice that sometimes, especially with like mirror cardstock will mark quite badly. So I would say either put a piece of copier paper or yes, use some clean plates, and that would work as well. So which is good. I have actually used, and I was doing that myself, you'll be able to see on this one, this is a plate that hasn't been used, well, very rare, it's not a lot of use in that, so it's quite smooth, so it's not putting any marks onto my projects. So but that wasn't purposely done. Normally this one is on the bottom, which is one that's been well cut into, so I think it's just a fluke that I hadn't been using it and using it on that side. So what we are going to do is Jane Adams is saying we would never put you on silent. I love that, Jane, thank you very much. Michael Adams is saying, hi Debbie, from Michael the Birdman and Stephanie the crafter. Michael has been sending me pictures, and I have to say he is like an amazing photographer. The bird pictures that he's been doing, yeah, I love, Jamie saying he loves photography, me too. They're really amazing, and I know that sounds like I'm saying that you're not amazing, Michael, but when you see pictures, especially of birds in flight like the ones that you're taking, you're a very clever man, because I think to capture that is incredible. And Stephanie is an amazing crafter as well, so you've got a very talented household, Michael. Trudy is saying, what collection is the shiny red paper from? It was just in my stash, to be honest, so I just thought all this would do. I'm not sure where the shiny, I think it come from a pad from a while ago, but I really don't know where the shiny paper come from. Yeah, I'll have to have a look. It didn't, so my problem is with papers and cardstock, and I don't know if anyone else is the same, when they all come in box form, they take up a lot of room. So I now decant all my colours and put them into colour coordination. So all my reds will be in one place, all my pinks, all my greens, and it doesn't matter whether the cardstock is shiny, whether it's the hunky-dory durable scoreable, whether it's the shimmer cardstock, the pearlized cardstock, my Centura Pearl. I've got it all in colour coordinated order now. So, but what that means, I then never know where it comes from. Because I get rid of the packaging, and it just means that I can have things exactly where I need them to grab them. So yeah, sorry, I can't help you with the cardstock. I think we might have had some red cardstock on the website at one time, but I don't know if it's still there. The other nice red cardstock that we've got coming at the moment is that new pearlized cardstock, which is the same colour right through to the core, and that's beautiful. That would work really well on this. Yep, so we're all up to date on that as well. Vanessa's saying hello to everybody. Yes, we're all good. Right, so let's do the green one. So we're going to do exactly the same, but this time we're going to be using, that one is our lid. Let me just, I've got a feeling. Did I do that as my, well, it looks smaller, so I'm going to just, I can't remember if I've used the base because that should have been the base one. So we're going to double check. Oh no, that looks like that was the base one. Yes, so that fits perfectly onto there. Yes, so we're all good, we're good. So the base is that one. This is the lid, so we need the lid. And yes, that's right. So we're going to pop that on there, put that underneath. Again, I'm just going to hold that in place, pop that one on the top like so, and then our two pieces on the top. There we go. So Karen is saying, I am excited to get mine. I didn't originally order it back on HSN Craft Day, but after I watched Crafters TV, I decided I needed it. It really is cute. The more I look at it, the more I love it. I'm trying to think what that is from, Karen. Let me just go back. Oh, so your cards, so that's what you've got, the fruits you've got coming and the Santa cardstock. So I was just reminding myself what you've got coming. And Diana is saying, I do the same with my card, Debbie. I have them in drawers, but they are all in colour. No matter what texture the card is, the colours go together. It's a great way, isn't it, of just being able to grab that colour that you need. And Rosalind's saying, Debbie, I colour coordinate too, but I keep the brand at the bottom of the stack for reorder. That's a really good idea. Never really thought about that. I suppose you could actually put a little note in, but I have so, do you know what I have so, who has so much cardstock they don't know what to do with it? I have so much cardstock, it's ridiculous. So Jamie is saying, how many years have I been here? That's how many years of cardstock I have. I don't actually have a full 14 years of cardstock. Well, I don't, Jamie, only because I've donated a lot to the school and I've donated a lot to my friends as well. So because otherwise I would be that person that's in the middle of a room and everything around me is packed high with card and paper. That would be me, yeah, absolutely. So I can't even, I've got a picture in my head of me sitting there with just massive piles of card around me. I would have so much, it's ridiculous. But it doesn't stop me buying it. I think I've said it before about ribbon. I am a terrible ribbon hoarder. I love ribbon. It's just one of the things that I really, really enjoy. And I keep telling myself I'm not going to buy any more, and then I still buy some more. So who else is a ribbon fanatic? Do they love ribbon? I quite like pattern ribbons at the moment. I'm liking some stripy ribbon, which would come out with one of our collections, and I'm nearly out of it, and I absolutely love it. And it came in a grey stripe, a red stripe, and a green stripe, but they were more sort of muted colours, and I absolutely love them. And the other one is dotty ribbon. I love dotty ribbon. I think that always looks really cool. So we're just going to, again, just fold those pieces over like so, and then we're going to do the same with these ones. So let's just pop them in. Oh, Jamie's saying Jane sent in a nightly joke, so we will read that one. Let's pop that in. Jamie wants me to concentrate. Very good, Jamie. Because I take blood thinners, I'm very, very conscious of not cutting myself because I bleed a bit more than other people. Oh, that's okay. Jake's a first aider. Oh, I might have to cut myself, Jamie. Just to smell Jake more than anything else. Jake was putting some stuff under the counter earlier, and because the fan was blowing, Jake's smell was like going over me. I was like, oh, come back, Jake. You smell lovely. Always smells good. Even Jamie says Jake always smells good. Ah, there you go. You don't put enough of it on. I bet he covers himself. That's what it is. So Jane, I love that you said a dinosaur joking, Jane. I love that. So Jane is saying, hey, Debbie, what do you call twin dinosaurs? This could be my new one. Pterodactyls. Oh my goodness, that's very good. Pterodactyls, if I can say it, get my teeth in. Karen is saying, thank you so much for the lovely project. You're very welcome, Karen. Diane is saying, Debbie, I think I could open a shop with the amount of ribbon I have. Literally have boxes and boxes and boxes, and I will never need to buy any more. I say that as well, honestly, Diana. I say I won't buy no more, and then I still do. Rosalind's saying, we're collectors, Debbie. I have enough yarn to open a store. And Diana's saying, if any of my friends need ribbon, they come to me rather than go to the shop. I love that, as they know they will get it for free, and I usually have whatever colour they want. Trudy is saying, look, I've opened a big thing now. You're all ribbon hoarders. I'm a big ribbon collector. I'm at a crossroads on how to compact them all for storage. Do you know what, Trudy? I see so many things with people that say that they love like creating storage for their ribbons, and lots of hacks of how you do your ribbons and making boxes and pulling it out, but it just goes to pot, doesn't it? Because I've done that before and had all my ribbons organised, pulled little bits out, put little cuts in things, and then when you're crafting and you just end up getting in a mess like every crafter does, you look at your ribbon drawer and everything's tangled, or you try and pull a ribbon and it won't pull, and you pull it more and other ribbons come out and then they tangle, and then you end up with this drawer that's literally just a tangled mess basically. And I think I've got to the stage where I even cut ribbons in the middle just because I can't be bothered to find the end. I mean, that's really bad, isn't it? But never mind, never mind. Right, let's get on with this box, otherwise we're never going to get this put together. So the next thing we're going to do, let's bring in all our elements that we've got. So I've got my box base and my box lid. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to bring in our red liner tape, and I like to use the red liner tape. I was using tacky glue, which I thought was really good, but it takes a little bit longer to take hold. And then I thought, well, actually, let's try the red liner tape. Did it live on air with Ben, and it worked a treat. And I've definitely found my use now for the red liner tape on these treat boxes, because they really do work. So I put a bit on the end here, and then I'm going to line the inside of my box. Now this is quite important, and it really does help. You want to get right to the very end of your box. So when you are putting this down, like so, I am making sure that that goes right to the very end. Because if you go a little bit in, that will stop your box from sticking and just give you a bit of a rough edge. So it's just really important to line up your tape, just press down little and often so you're getting that full. Can you see? We can't see any white along the edge of the card. And then we're just going to continue that. So just pull that one up a little bit and do a bit more. Last little bit onto there. And then all we're going to do, I'm going to snip that away and again burnish that down, because I want to make sure that really goes into every fibre of my card so my box won't come unstuck, because obviously this is a usable box, so we want to make sure that nothing is going to come up. Then we're going to take that piece away. So the first bit we're going to do is we're going to stick that piece together, so right to there onto the edge. Oh, I thought I took the end off and I've not at all. Let's take that off again. I'll try again. There we go. That's weird. I'm sure I just took the end of that off. It must have been either a double end or I didn't even grab it. So let's just place that right onto there so you get that perfect crisp edge. Give that a rub down so that's going to stick, and then your tape is all the way ready for you to stick your box, and it's this bit then that's going to go into there. So we're going to first of all start with sticking these side panels in. So I'm just going to make sure they're all inside. I'm also just going to use my pokey tool to just curl that a little bit. So can you see we're just making that arched a bit, and all that's doing is stretching the fibres of our card. So I'm going to make sure that that goes in there perfectly. Yep, looks good. And then we're going to start with that first piece. I love projects that you can really take your time with and just really enjoy the craft. And that's what you can definitely do with these boxes. So I'm just rubbing that down under there. And then we're going to just do this stage by stage. So we're going to do a little bit to push down and go in on each one, just making sure we get that perfect line. Now if you find, like this one, you've got a tiny little bit that could do with cutting a little bit smaller in, all I'm going to do with that one is we're going to come in and trim that like so, just taking an extra little bit off the edge, and that will just help then with putting that down. See, I can see now that's going to fit into there perfectly, and it's going to give me the perfect box size there. So right into there. There we go. So once you've got that all into size, all into shape, all we're going to do with this one is just make sure that we push every single one down, and it's just making sure that that's really well stuck onto that edge, like so. And there you go, that's our box base done already. So that's done, so we'll pop that to the side. Now before we put this one together, we're going to do some heat embossing. So we're going to bring that stencil back in. This one's going to go over the top because that fits perfectly into place. And then I'm also going to bring in some low tack tape, and we're just going to tape this down. So I wouldn't take any chances with this, making sure that locked in exactly where we need it to with those positioning, because we've embossed those pips. I'm going to tape that down on that side, and I'm going to do it on the bottom as well, just to make sure that this is not going to move anywhere. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in our jet black. So bringing in your pigment ink pad. Now your pigment is, it'll stay wetter for longer, but actually because we have a shiny surface, if you're using Centura Pearl, if you're using anything that's shiny, it will take longer to dry anyway, and you would probably get away with any ink pad. Even your quick drying, believe it or not, will not quick dry on a non-porous surface. And all I'm doing, you can see I'm tapping, I'm not rubbing, because if you rub, the ink will go underneath the pips, and then it will look a little bit messy. So by just dabbing down and sort of just punching that ink into those pips, you get a really nice lay down of colour, and that will stay wetter for longer, so it will stay wet until you put your embossing powder into place. But you can see how quick you can do that. No problem whatsoever. If you want them a little bit more, you want a bit more ink, but I think that's plenty. We don't need any more than that. So now we're going to bring in our embossing folder, not embossing folder, sorry. We're going to take away this one. So you can see, look at that. I mean, it's so amazing. Oh, Jamie wants to eat it. You can't eat it, Jamie. It's card, I'm afraid, but it does look good enough to eat, doesn't it? That's for sure. So all I'm going to do is, now you could, if you wanted to make it really extra black, is use black embossing powder, but we just keep a clear one in the studio. So I'm just going to tap that all over just to get onto there. So once that's covered, I'm going to then just move that in and just pop that into place. Now what has happened on here, because it's a shiny cardstock, and actually this is really good to show because I was asked this the other day of what you do when your embossing folder sticks to where you don't want it to stick. Simple answer to that is a little paintbrush. So all we're going to do is dust that down and just don't go. It doesn't matter if you've got a little bit on there, because all that adds is it looks a little bit like dew, and because it's a wet fruit, it will look quite authentic. So we're just going to brush some of it off. I'm not worried about a little bit because it's just clear embossing powder, so it will just go shiny. So Jamie's asking if you have to be quite quick or whether it will stay like this for a while. It will actually stay like this for a while because it takes a little bit of time for your ink to dry underneath. So I'm not going to worry too much about any of that. We'll just tap a little bit more off and most of that is gone now. So let's pop that to the side and then we'll bring our heat tool in. So you do need a heat tool to heat this up, and we're just going to switch that on and use this to heat there. So what you want to do is you want to heat it until it starts to melt, so you'll be able to see it melting because it will go black and it will go shiny. It's a perfect pick for your watermelon. So I just think even if you didn't want to heat emboss, you should heat emboss just to get this effect because it looks really cool. And then you'll see that the rest of the embossing powder is just melting around it. So if we didn't have a shiny card, could we heat emboss paper? You could, but if you're making boxes, you want to do it out of card, but you could definitely heat emboss onto any cardstock really. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just making sure that everything is melted around. There we go. Love that. Such good results that you get on there. And then you've got that amazing, if I turn it around, look at that. That is definitely good enough to eat. They do look like real little seeds. Yes, absolutely. So we're going to do the same with this one. So I'm just letting that cool down as I speak. And now we're going to do the same with our red liner tape. So I want the red liner tape on this piece here. So that is just going to go across there. And I'm putting it to where the fold is. I'm not worried about the end here. You can't really see it because of that, but it's got a little bit of gap. But that doesn't matter, it's just where the fold is where you want it to be. And then we're going to burnish that one down. Then turn that over and then we're going to go along this section here. So just at the side. And again, you want to go right onto the edge of your cardstock. And this really does help in giving you a really neat edge. So just around the side. And just manipulate your tape because it will move to wherever you want it to move because it is just a sticky tape, like so. And then we will use this again. Just makes it, not only does it really get it into the fibres of the card, it actually makes it a lot easier to take off the lining. So I'm just going to grab my pokey tool. Take that lining off, like so, and then this one here, see if I can grab it this time. Oh, doesn't want to come away. Let's try it from this side. If one end doesn't go, I think what it is, there's a tiny little hook on the end of my pokey tool, which probably needs filing down a little bit, and it's that's not allowing me to get underneath. So yeah, I think I might have done it. It's a little tiny hook still. Right, so once we've done that, we're going to again place this one with the sides in, like so, and then just push that bit together, and then again just massage that in because that will just heat it up and make it super sticky. And then you've got all this area here, and again we're just going to place this one on the edge. So let's use our pokey tool. I'm just going to turn that a little bit. It's going to just give me that curve and allow the fibres of the card to be stretched. Start off with that first piece that just goes onto that edge. Once you've got that one in, then the rest should just come into place. So Dana Jane, let me just have a look here. Yes, Jane is saying, could you use an anti-static bag first? That will absolutely help. Yes, it would, Jane, a brilliant tip. Anti-static bags are really good when you remember to use them. I always forget to use them. But yes, anti-static bag is very good. It would absolutely do the trick, Jane, so thank you for reminding me. I just completely forgot to use it. So the same thing's happening with that one again. So all I'm going to do is come in with my scissors and just slightly take that piece out of there. I don't know whether my fold is not right or I haven't done my card very well, but it's only that tiny little bit on the edge. But this is a really good way of being able to make sure that that fits perfectly. So we're just going to, again, go in. There we go, perfect. Perfect fit. Hang on, I need to push these ones down because these are coming away. So just take your time just to put them down. Once you know they're all into place, that last one, there we go, perfect fit, just on there, like so. And then again, we're just going to use our scoring tool to pop down onto there. So many comments coming through. Let's have a look. Let's just go back to a few. So Mary Pat saying she's obsessed with ribbon. Diana saying I have dowels that I put through the middle of my spools of ribbon, and they will stop your box that goes from one side to the other. Oh, that's very clever, Diana. And then I just put a straight pin to hold the end of a ribbon. Why have I never thought to use pins? I always, how funny is that? I mean, the amount I craft, and yet I've never thought to use a pin. I always use a little bit of sellotape and just sellotape the ends together. Karen is saying, I love the embossing on the seeds. It's like magic. Yeah, absolutely. I love embossing. And Mary Pat is saying, great technique for the watermelon. And Karen is saying, is the red liner tape stronger than the regular CC double-sided stick? Absolutely. Red liner tape is hands down a brilliant strong tape, and stronger than any other tapes. So yeah, if you've got red liner tape, you know that you've got definitely a really good strong tape. Right, so let's put our box together because that will fit now, should fit, there we go, perfectly over the top. So we've got our box completely made, so which is beautiful. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our die cutting. So we've got these dies here. I'm going to bring in some green cardstock. I'm just going to trim this a little bit because we're going to just use our Gemini Mini because all of our dies will fit through there. And we also need some white cardstock as well. So I'm just going to grab some white cardstock, and I don't know what that piece was. Let me grab this one here. And we're going to just, yes, use this one. What I want to do first, before I just cut that one, I'm going to bring in my guillotine and we're going to cut, how much did I cut that by? Let me just double check on that ribbon. So I did it to 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to trim a 3/4 of an inch piece of white card, like so. And we're going to trim that to 6 inches. And then I'm going to do the same with the green piece of card, but this time I'm going to do this one. We only want 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is use my, I'm going to use my pokey tool, and I've put it to the fore, and then I'm just going to put a little notch where the 1/2 inch is, and then it's much easier to cut that 1/2 inch off, like so. So, actually it looks bigger. I think it's bigger. That's that one. Oh, it is bigger, so it must be 3/4 of an inch. Don't know why it doesn't seem. Oh, so what I am going to do, I think, is I'm going to do it to the metal strip on my guillotine. That's where I've done it to. So I think it's slightly bigger than my, yeah, slightly bigger. And then we're going to trim that one to 6 inches as well. So that is going to make our handle. So what will happen is our green will go over the white, and it will allow that little line down the side. So 6 inches, and then your metal strip and 3/4 of an inch. So let's now can use this white card, and we're going to use this to do our die cutting as well. So just again, we want about 3 inches, like so. and then we will just place these through. So your bigger section, so you've got two, they're both exactly the same in their length, but you want the bigger one, the widest one is going to be white, and the smallest one is going to be your green. So I'm just going to take that one as well. Now we need two of those, so I'm going to use those two in my Gemini. Let's just bring in my mats. So placing these through like so. Place that over the top, and then you can run those ones through. So nice and easy. So that's two of them, and then we want one more of the smaller ones. So we're just going to use that smaller one to create another one in there. So like so. And actually, while we're here, I'm just going to take my, where have I put it? It's here somewhere. I see it in plain day, and now do you think I can see it? Is that on top? Oh, can you believe that? I know where it is. It's in the box. I just realised that's where it was. There it is. Look, there's my little die. So I used my little circle nesting die, and I've got just two little black gems that I'm going to use as my seeds on the top. So I forgot I'd put it in my box so I wouldn't lose them. So I'm going to pop that onto there. I know, I stored it so perfectly. It's that thing, isn't it, where you hide things or put things in a safe place and then you forget where you put them. I mean, I do that all the time. It's never the normal place, is it? Never the normal place. So we've got our white ones. So we've got our two white. We've got our little circle one for our sentiment. And now we just need to do that again, but in the green. But we're going to switch now to the smaller ones. So we've got to pop them ones back, like so. Pop that one back. And then we've got the smaller ones. So we've got the small two ones of the longer and the smaller. And then we're going to bring in that green and die cut those as well. Just like so. So run them through your machine. I love how simplistic this box is, because once you've put it together, it comes together so quickly. Very simple to do and quite self-explanatory. It's just a case of the more you make them, the more they just become the normal to make. I feel like I could make this probably blindfolded. I feel like I've made so many. So let's bring those ones in. Pop that one back on there so we don't lose those. And pop that to the side. So we've got all our components now. I did cut two, yeah, it's hiding. Now the green are going to go over your white ones. So when they go over the top like so, it's going to create that little border, the same as we've created using the strap here. So we just made our own one. So let's glue these ones together. So I'm only just going to use, I think we'll just use a dotty tape pen for these. So just a case of popping all these with glue. I'm going to do all of them and then we can stick them at the same time. I think we're going to be really good for timing on this one, Jamie. Amazing. So we've still got time to apply our sentiment, or stamp our sentiment and apply our handle. Ah, Jamie, thank you. He said I'm always quite good with timings. Yeah, I am quite good with timings. I don't fluster. I just think it's... No, never, Jamie, never. Yeah, Jamie's asking me if I practice timings. I never practice timings. I just think over the years I've just got very good at what I need to wing, what I need to do quickly, what things I need to slow down. Yeah, I think that's what it is. You just get used to doing things. So yeah, and you just have a good knowledge of how long things take. So yeah, I never panic. I think that's the key. Never panic. It's what's the worst that could happen? We might go a few minutes over, or I can just switch to my one that's finished and say, you know, we can't put our sentiment on, but this is what it looks like when it's done. Ah, oh, bless her. Yeah, Debbie's a bit of a panicker, isn't she? Oh, Debbie Robinson. Yeah, that's our Debbie for you. Bless her little heart. She is a bit of a panicker, but she always does it. So, yeah, absolutely. So we've got those pieces on, so we can apply them to our box. So we're going to again use some tape. Oh, I put that one on a bit of a wonk, but never mind. You could make all sorts out of these boxes, Jamie. Yes, yes, absolutely. There is somebody that, oh, that's why I've put it on the wrong way, haven't I? It's the white, look at that. Can you believe that? Look. Got time to do another one. We'll do another white one quickly. There we go. The long one doesn't matter because it can go either way. So, but yes, I thought that was weird. When I put it on, it didn't look like the right way. So we want the thinner, no we won't, want the thicker one, don't we? The white one is underneath. So let's just place that on there and then run that through. Didn't panic, no. There's always a solution, isn't there? That's the good thing. And it is, absolutely, Jamie, it is a piece of card. There we go. So I just need a bit more glue now to go over the top of that one. Cake, that sounds nice, yes. And then there we go, now that fits better. I thought that was strange why that wasn't fitting, but I put it on the wrong place. So let's just, it seem to want to go in. Oh, I'm not going to worry too much about that. And then let's place that onto our box. And again, you could use your tacky glue, your red liner. We're just going to place this onto our design here, like so. So onto there. You can always take the top off and then have that so you burnish it underneath. And then we've got our two pieces at the side onto each end, which is going to finish that box off beautifully. And that will line up beautifully with the front of the box as well, so you can see there. And then our next one onto there. So let's pop that right up against the side there, like so. Look at that, perfectly finished. So then all you're going to do now with this one, I would definitely use some red liner tape because you want this to be strong. This is going to be your handle. So you can either put one or two on there. I don't think we need more than the one. So, but if you wanted to put 2 strips, you could absolutely do that. And this is going to really hold it into place as well. So just popping that on each side. Again, burnish that down. And then we're going to, just before we take that off, I'm just going to make sure that we give this a curl because that is going to be your handle. Let's use the pokey tool wherever I put it. There it is, hiding under my scissors. And on this side. Nearly home time, Jamie. Oh, have you? Jamie's got to set up the next studio. We're actually in Studio 2 tomorrow, which is nice. So all I'm going to do is play, oh, I don't want to do that, I want to do it onto the top. So I'm going to turn it the other way, so the white is showing. We're just going to butt that up against the actual crease of the card, just like that. I'm going to give that a rub so that's really holding. And then we're going to move this to the opposite side and do exactly the same thing, right in the middle, and just pop that one in as well. So that gives us our really cute little handle. So just making sure that's even. And then we've got those little gems that I just had, so we're going to use those. And then we've just got time to do a stamping of our sentiment. So that will go just on the side there. So it actually looks like we've got another little seed there. And then one more on the opposite side, like so. And then we're going to just bring in our stamping platform, which I put somewhere, here it is, under here. And then you've just got to pick which one you have. So I'm going to do your one in a melon. I love that one. I think it's very funny. Yeah, it's a brilliant sentiment. So we're just going to place that on there, like so. and stamp that one. I'm just going to switch my ink just to a black ink pad. Other way. Nearly stamped down on that white piece of card there. It must be getting late. So let's stamp that one. It has been a good day today. Yeah, I've really enjoyed today. It's been a fun day. Tomorrow is very exciting, guys, because we have something really new to us. You know how we love an edgeable and we love creator cards. We've actually got top and bottom edgeables. Can you believe that? Top and bottom edgeables. You're going to absolutely love them. I've got so much to show you and you will absolutely love them because they are beautiful. What I haven't got, and I thought I had one in my box but it's not there, is a little black ribbon, but I'm not going to worry about that. Everything else is done. I'm just going to grab myself a foam pad to put into place. These are all a bit too big, so let's just have a smaller one. Popping that onto there and then pop that on the top there. So the only difference is my one here, and in fact I think this one looks much neater than what this one does, so I've just put a little black ribbon on there, but there's your little melon boxes with your little handle. I mean, they look absolutely adorable. I love the fact that you've got those little pips that are really shiny, so yeah, if you want to make a little box with a little handle, I think they're super cute. I know that you'll love doing those. And now you've got a start to finish one that you can do with our craft along, which is amazing. Right, Patty's saying the box is adorable, and Rosalind is saying perfect timing, Debbie. The box is adorable. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, Jan, on socials, and thank you for everyone that stopped and watched. Please come back in the morning. Our Ben will be back at 10 a.m. with his. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's a good job Jamie told me that, because I don't think I would have come in. I've got the weekly preview, of course I have. So we'll actually be showing you the top and the bottom sentiments, which is going to be amazing. Perfect timing, Debbie, such a great craft along. You're very welcome. Right, I'm going to be going. I'm going to go to bed early because I've got to be in early now. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow, but you will be able to see those amazing dies that you want to come back for tomorrow. Have a good evening, whatever you're up to tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. Night for now.